were some rampaging and some vandalism that was going on, and the Ghana Police Service, one of them that were being talked about, the Ghana Police Service had advised the public to ignore false claims that the New Patriotic Party's office in Kaswa has been destroyed. Despite claims that the NPP office in Kaswa has been destroyed, the Ghana Police insists no such incident has occurred. Per their report, they said the NPP office in Kaswa has not been vandalized. Please ignore the false claim. Meanwhile, Ghana Police are searching for suspect Mujahid Suraj, also known as Mims, in connection with a shooting incident in Ewutu Senya East constituency in Kaswa involving an injured individual and his vehicle during an ongoing poll in the recent election. In addition, 4 suspects have been arrested in connection with the shooting incident at the Iron City office in Kaswa, Ghana, resulting in the death of one person and injury of another. The incident occurred after Phyllis O'Connor, parliamentary candidate for the National Democratic Congress, declared herself the winner of the parliamentary election. Both victims are believed to be NDC members and supporters of Na Korio, and the suspects are currently in custody for further investigation. In spite of all these incidents, no property has been destroyed. That's what the police are saying there. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, still there. But the incumbent president, or the outgoing president, has said that has invited the president-elect to meet with him at the Jubilee House to begin transitioning protocol. Let me put it right. The transition process from the outgoing Akufo-Addo government to the incoming Mahama administration will begin on Wednesday when officials from both sides meet. In a post on X, formerly Twitter, President Akufo-Addo disclosed that he has spoken to the president-elect John Mahama and will meet him on the said day as well. Earlier this evening, I called President-elect J.D. Mahama to congratulate him on his decisive victory in the just ended presidential election. I also congratulated the EC, Ghana's official, and Ghanaian people for a successful election that reflects enduring strength of Ghana's democracy. In the spirit of collaboration, I invited the president-elect for a meeting on Wednesday at the Jubilee House to initiate the transition process. May God continue to bless our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong, the president wrote. It will be a highly unusual transition as the incumbent president is set to hand over to his successor, who is also his predecessor. In January 2017, President Mahama left office after losing the previous year's election to Mr. Akufo-Addo. He did contest the president again in rematch, but came up short during the COVID-19 election season. The transition process is hardly a side show of our democracy. The Presidential Transition Act 2012, Act 845, enjoins outgoing administration to establish arrangement for the political transfer of administration from one democratically elected president to another democratically elected president, and to provide for the regulation of the political transfer of power and for related matters. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, and it's your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So the question is, what brought about the big loss for the NPP? And again, are Ghanaians awakened now? Because earlier on, I did talk about the fact that when they go for elections, people are induced, and because they are induced, because they are induced, they end up not making what do you call it? Will I say why decision again? Or and then they go and they are giving some monies, or those who were selling their votes. And initially there was some sort of apathy there. They said some of the polling stations were not, we didn't have people there. and a few things that went on there. However, we've come out this way. So, what was the total turnout and what was the expectation? And comparing figures this year, this number, the results and the number of participants to that of the previous election, what has gone on there? That is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, the first Ghanaian vice president, let me put it this way, elect, okay? Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman has reaffirmed her commitment to inclusivity and empowerment. Now, speaking after the presidential candidate John Mahama was declared the winner in the 2024 election, she vowed to pave the way for others to succeed in her groundbreaking role. She stated that her historic election as the first female vice president in Ghana's history, the position was not about personal glory, but about creating opportunities for all. Now, she went on further to say, I know this is a big responsibility and I don't intend to travel the journey by myself. You are all part of it. NDC is an inclusive party and we are demonstrating it in many ways. But are we going to see the president-elect coming to office and cracking the whip and making sure that people are towing the line? Or is it going to be same old, but just another day? What do you think is going to be there? It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. We'll have to now move on. But God willing, tomorrow, during the course of the day, that's today, we're going to be scrutinizing or getting all the necessary, what do we call it? The necessary details of all the results that have come through, and we'll let you know from there. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, just bear with us. Those of you on the YouTube, I don't know whether the broadcast is frozen there or yes, but just bear with us whilst I try to get it up. Oh yeah, that seemed to be frozen. My apologies, my sincere apologies there. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. So just bear with us as we do that. But now we're going to come to other parts of the world, and let me announce that the lines are open. If you want to be part of it, feel free to do so. Whilst we bring you everything, as I do say, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, if it's making the headlines, be rest assured that we touch on it. We will touch on it. So stay tuned and don't touch the dial at all. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right then. Okay, to the tail end of the program there, and what have I got for you? The main Islamist rebel leader in Syria says senior officials of the Assad regime who were involved in torturing political prisoners will be named. Abu Muhammad al-Jolani says rewards will be offered for information about the senior army and security officers involved in war crimes. Now, meanwhile, rescue workers say they have ended their search for possible detainees in secret cells or basement at Sednaya military prison without finding anyone. Now, specialized teams assisted by K9 dogs units and individuals familiar with the layout had been combing the prison as crowds gathered in the hope of finding their missing relatives. In Damascus, rebel fighters reportedly say they found more than 40 bodies in a hospital morgue showing signs of torture. Now, Israeli airstrikes hit the city overnight, but life in the capital appears to be slowly returning to normal. The question is, why is Israel hitting them? Why is Israel hitting them? First of all, they were doing their best to, whilst they are down, break them so that they don't get up and have any other thoughts of doing anything of the sort there. But, well, that is what is happening there. What do we do? What can we do? Let us know. What do you think is going to be a different end game than what we saw in Libya or in Iraq? Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. In other stories making the rounds still. Now, Brazil's president Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva is doing well after undergoing surgery for a brain bleed. His doctors have said the 79-year-old was taken to hospital in the capital Brasilia on Monday after he had complained of a severe headache. Now, an MRI scan revealed the bleed, and Lula was transferred to the renowned Syro-Lebanese hospital in Sao Paulo to have it drained. The intracranial hemorrhage was caused by a blow to the head he sustained when he fell in his bathroom at the presidential residence in October, according to a hospital statement. Now, doctors said they had performed craniotomy on the president, a procedure in which part of the bone is surgically removed from the skull to treat the bleed and relieve the pressure. The bone is then replaced. Lola is being monitored in an intense care unit and doing well, the hospital statement adds. It also said there had been no complications during the surgery. Lola had slipped in the bathroom in Alvorada Palace on the 19th of October and hit the back of his head. He had to have 5 stitches and on his doctor's advice cancelled a planned trip to Russia for a summit of the BRICS countries. He returned to full duties days later. But, well, we found that after he was complaining of a headache, and, well, we thank God that he is still okay. Starr Radio UK. Well, a 26-year-old man has been charged with murder over the last week's fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City. Now, Luigi Gion was taken into custody at a McDonald's in the town of Altoona, Pennsylvania on Monday after a customer at the fast food outlet recognized him. An Ivy League graduate from a prominent Maryland family, he was found in possession of a gun and a handwritten document that expressed ill will towards corporate America, according to police. Now, people who knew him told U.S. media he suffered from a painful back injury and that he had become socially withdrawn in recent months. Mr. Thompson, 50, was fatally shot in the back last Wednesday morning outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, where United Healthcare, the medical insurance giant he led, was holding an investor meeting. Now, police say he was targeted in the pre-planned killing. Now, Mr. McGleon initially appeared in the Pennsylvania court on Monday, charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm and other charges. He was handcuffed at the wrists and the ankles and seemed calm during the hearing, occasionally looking around at those present, including the media. Just hours later, New York investigators charged him with murder and 4 other counts, including firearms charges. Now, last week's shooting triggered a huge manhunt with New York City investigators using one of the world's largest digital surveillance system, as well as police dogs, drones, and divers in a Central Park lake to search for the attacker. Investigators revealed that the finding Mr. McGeown was a complete surprise, as they did not have his name on a list of suspects before Monday. Now, it was ultimately a McDonald's customer in Altoona that recognized the suspect from media coverage and alerted an employee who then tipped off the police. Now, when police arrived, Mr. McGeown showed them a fake New Jersey driver's license with the name Mark Rosario, said court papers. A search of his backpack uncovered what police called a ghost gun, which could have been 3D printed, and a loaded magazine with 6 rounds of 9mm ammunition. Prosecutors said he was carrying a U.S. passport and a $10,000 cash, $2,000 as it's in foreign currency, though Mr. McGinn disputed the amount in court. The 3-page document found in his possession said, "These parasites had it coming, and I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done," a senior law enforcement official said. Investigators say the words deny, defend, and depose were written on shell casings found at the scene of Mr. Thompson's murder. Now, officials believe this could be a reference to what critics call the 3Ds of insurance, tactics used by insurance companies to reject payment claims by patients in America's complicated healthcare system. Now, earlier in the day, New York Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch said the weapon and suppressor seized by the investigators from the suspect were both consistent with the weapon used in the murder of Mr. Thompson. He further went on. His family said they were shocked and devastated by his arrest and offered their prayers to the family of Mr. Thompson. His paternal grandparents, Nicholas and Mary Mayon, were real estate developers who purchased the Teft Valley Country Club in 1978 and Hayfields Country Club in Hunt Valley in 1986. One of his cousins is a Republican Maryland state legislator. As a teenager, Mr. McGinn attended a private all-boys school in Maryland where he was class valedictorian, a title usually awarded to students with best grades. He graduated from the University of Pennsylvania in an Ivy League college. Now, his LinkedIn account says he worked as a data engineer in California. TrueCar, a website for car buyers, confirmed that he had been employed there but left in 2023. Mr. McGinn spent time in a co-living surfing community in Hawaii called Surf Break. Now, Sarah Nehemiah, who knew him then, said he left due to his back injury, which worsened when he served. Now, several posts to an account on X said that appeared to belong to Mr. McGinn, suggested that friends had been trying to reach him, with one person posting in October that nobody has heard from you in months. So, what actually did happen to him? Well. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Is it because of the pain that he was going through? He thought this were the perpetrators of my pain and therefore have to pay for it. One final story and then we'll bring the program to a close. Ministers have been told to stop spending that does not contribute to the government's priorities as Chancellor Rachel Reeves promises to take an iron fist against waste. Now, Reeves will ask our department to identify efficiency savings worth 5% of their current budgets under a review of their spending plans for the coming years. Now, budgets will also be scrutinized by panels, including former senior bankers, to advise what spending is necessary. Conservatives said Reeves has so far failed to make the public sector more efficient or cut back on welfare spending. The Treasury says the spending review will be zero-based, meaning departments will have to justify all spending anew for each year. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is where I bring the program to a close for today. So, as I did say earlier on, this afternoon, exactly at 1:30, we'll be having BB Clement coming your way with BB Means Business, and I will want you to be part of it. So wherever you are, Don't you go away. We take a commercial break from that end, and then I will bring you my last music, and then we'll bring the program to close. Thank you very much for joining me.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Okay, so thank you very much for tuning in today. This is my last tune for today, and it's a Watered Agza. Okay, enjoy it, and I'll come back to you tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye for now.
Yo, Wagwan, it's Christmas time. Got my family around, feeling so divine. Of course, freezing and lighting up in the house already. It's a shining night, heading us through the dark of the night. Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's go! Pack your bags, pack everything, we go. Let's go home, celebrate this time. Hey, happy people, happy people. Oh, oh. The skies are bright, stars are out. Christmas time. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. It's a holiday. Holiday. Jesus is born. It's a merry day. Merry day. Jesus is born. Katika roho ya Krismasi tunakutana kama moja tunasherehekea hii Krismasi takatifu. Amani, upendo na moja ndio tunachotamani. Krismasi hii, Krismasi ya Afrika, hii Krismasi kweli ndio ya ajabu. Tuko wapi? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. It's a holiday. Holiday. Jesus is born. It's a merry day. Merry day. Jesus is born. Zawadi chini ya miti ni ishara ya upendo.
Thanks for listening.
Moto wa kijiko unawasha na joto. Krismasi kwa furaha na upendo. Hii ndio Afrika yetu. Krismasi njema. Merry Christmas.